Hello guys, EC here, and one of the biggest debates around Nintendo Switch 2 has been backwards compatibility of games. Now obviously we haven't got a confirmed list yet of what games will and won't be backwards compatible, but I think I'm going to give you some predictions for what I feel like aren't going to be backwards compatible. Games I feel like there's very much good reason why they won't be available, either digitally or physically on Switch 2, largely because of either add-ons that are needed or other issues. So let's start with the obvious fact that the Joy-Cons don't have the bottom sensor. Right, the bottom sensor that was in the original Joy-Cons are gone from the new ones. At least that's what I've been told by one of my colleagues at Cloud Dosage News. Now, with this news, this means that games like Nintendo Labo, which for those who don't remember Nintendo Labo, it probably deserves a whole video on itself. It was a series of cardboard sort of like play sets that you could make little games with if you obviously bought the sets, but it didn't sound the best, so I don't think many people are going to be crying out for Labo. One game I do feel like a lot of people will be crying out for though is Ring Fit Adventure, largely because the larger Joy-Cons most probably won't fit inside the Ring Con, which is required to play the game. So that kind of feels like that game will probably get an updated version for Switch 2. If it doesn't, that is a huge loss on Nintendo's end. Like, they kind of need to do that, in my opinion, because it's such a big title, such a big success. People love that game. So to me, I feel like they need to obviously do that and bring it, at least do a modern port, like where you can actually like use an updated accessory to play it. And maybe if you already had it on Switch 1, they give you like a discount for it. Or even just give you the game upgrade for free, you never know. Now, besides them, the 1-2 Switch games, 1-2 Switch and 1-2, and everybody 1-2 Switch, I feel like those two games are probably like the most likely just genuine games from either the launch of the Switch or later on that will probably also be cut, largely because they require the Joy-Cons, and some of the games with them as well require this bottom sensor to actually play the games, so that might make it very hard to actually play them on the Switch 2, which won't have obviously the same sensors. But also, one game that I feel like, if we don't see it be backwards compatible, we will definitely see either a port or a sequel to, is Nintendo Switch Sports. Like, Nintendo Switch Sports, to me, it kind of feels like it should have had more oomph behind it. And I know some of the games do require you to actually use the Joy-Cons as obviously, I know, like the soccer game, for example, you got a leg strap for it, right? But then you got games like bowling, which won't obviously, I don't think, require as much for it. So as long as, they can find a way to make Switch Sports work on Switch 2, like whether it be a port or it be just a sequel, I feel like that either way that'd be good. And like these just to me are just genuine games that they'll just have to either make ports for or they will just have to cut completely. Like I said though, guys, this is just my predictions. I don't actually have any concrete evidence to support, obviously, that these games won't be available, but we can assume, based on the hardware for the actual Joy-Cons, that these games won't be available. It is a shame, but I do feel like Ring Fit Adventure and Nintendo Switch Sports especially are ashamed to not be made available. So I do see Nintendo doing ports for those games and just updating either the Ring Kong or like trying to find a way to actually make them work with the modern Joy-Cons. Like, those two games to me feel like they just can't leave them behind. They need to bring them forward into the next generation, or then we'll just do sequels and whatever for them. But yeah, we just gotta hope and wait for them to actually release their official list of what's going to be backwards compatible, what's not. Although I don't think we're going to see any Zelda games or Mario games be on the list that won't be backwards compatible. Although I do think we might see some DLCs and potentially games from third parties that won't be made backwards compatible because obviously controls or rights issues or whatever. But yeah, that's just my theory, guys. This is my predictions. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about these predictions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe. We are trying to hit like 1,000 subscribers this year. We are getting there. We're getting there. We're catching it. We're catching the number. And yeah, I've been EC. I'm signing out. Peace.